श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So what is growth? A process or a way by which you grow into a person who is comfortable being himself or herself. Relating with the world or not relating with the world. That's important. Being by yourself in a corner, you may be comfortable. But can you be comfortable while relating? Relating with people who are most significant others to you, who are normally the sources of most difficulties and challenges as well. So there is a relative level of acceptance, and I said there is an absolute acceptance. And I said that absolute growth means what? There is no more need to grow, there is no more room to grow. You have reached a point where there is nothing more that can be accomplished. There is nothing remaining to be accomplished. That is called, being that person who sees there is nothing more to accomplish is a person who is called a Mukta Purusha. Moksha means freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from whatever you don't like. Freedom from a need to become different from what you are. So, we identify, we recognize that there is a relative growth and there is an absolute growth. And if both of these are not there, what is there? Then there is just a muddling through life. You live, you face challenges, you overcome some, you don't overcome some, and this is how life is, full of ups and downs, and you complain sometimes, you smile sometimes, you live through it. This is what we normally do. Nobody has to teach you, you should be happy. You should not be sad. Does somebody have to teach you that? You know it, naturally know it. I don't want to be unhappy. I want to be happy. It's natural. But what do you think makes you happy? That is a question. If you think this happiness centered on the world, you will try to change the world, reorganize the world around you. If you think it's your mind, you will try to reorganize your mind. But neither of them is going to deliver the results totally. They will give you some result. Then, is somebody moaning or? Oh, okay. You're okay, ma? Shashikala ma? Are you okay? So what is this? What does this moksha mean? What does it really mean? I said it's freedom. But what is that freedom? How does it happen? Is it something that happens because you happen to create the limitless? So we call it the limitless. Okay? Let's understand the word limitless for a bit. Now, this is a pot and it is sitting on this table. Is it limited? In what way is it limited? What do we mean by limitation? It is on this part of the table, which means it is not here. If it is here, if it is not here. If it is here, it's not here. It's at a given place, at a given time. Right now, it is here. But 1 minute earlier, it was here. So, in time, there is limitation. In space, there is limitation. And it's a pot. That itself is a limitation. Why? Well, it's not a flower. A pot is not a flower. A flower is not a pot. A flower is not another flower. The flower has this kind of drooping petals right now. It's not fresh enough. Right? You take any one thing. If you say this is one thing, this is a leaf. How do you say this is a leaf? There's a boundary or not? For the leaf idea, is there a boundary or not? Therefore, it's bound. You understand what limitation means? Any object is limited being that very object because it's not any other object. So, if I am a man, am I limited or not? I am not a woman. Enough. I am limited. I am not a tree. So, what is limitless then? What does limitless mean? It should not, see, a leaf excludes a pot, excludes a flower, excludes a smaller pot, excludes the glass, excludes everything but this leaf. This is called limitation. Okay. If this leaf had a human mind, if it had a human mind, and if it says, nobody really cares for me, I wish I was a nice flower. That's what a human mind normally does. This is all I am. I wish I was different. I wish I knew more. I wish I had a different color to my skin. I wish I had different colored hair. I wish my hair was curly. I wish my eyebrows were thicker. How many wishes can you have? Infinite number of wishes. How are you going to fulfill all of them? How can I drop the wish? Another question. Why should you drop a wish? There is nothing, there is no issue with having a wish. So far as you are comfortable letting the wish remain without being fulfilled. The human privilege is you are free to wish. See, certain people will tell you, Vedanta, the problem is with desire. The problem is not desire. Ichha is a Shakti. It's a privilege. To use Swamiji's words, desiring is a human privilege. Why should you give up a privilege? But a privilege remains a privilege only when it doesn't compel you, when it doesn't force you. Let the wish be. You can entertain a wish to go to the moon. What's wrong with that? But you don't become unhappy because you didn't make it there. That's called freedom to choose, not compulsion. So, you never drop a desire normally. Sometimes you do. When you understand a desire is foolish, you drop it. But all desires you cannot drop. If you understand what you really are, the desires drop off. Don't try to drop a desire. If you want to drop a desire and you think it's desirable and you want to drop it, you are going to be settling for less than what you want. I wish I could have, paneer every day. Not me, okay? It's just a statement. And somebody will bring paneer tomorrow. I'll have trouble. I wish I have paneer every day to eat. Then somebody tells, this desire is a problem. Okay, I don't want it. It's not, doesn't work that way, okay? Even if you shake your head 100 times, desires don't shake off. So the idea that desire is a problem is a problem. A compelling desire. You say, unless this desire is fulfilled, I can't be happy. That's the problem. So what is limitless? There is no place. So if I want to be, so you put it in Purushartha terms now. You want to be happy. When do you want to be happy? Now or later? Huh? Now and later. Now and later, correct? Where do you want to be happy? Inside the classroom? Outside the classroom? When you're in the Ganga? When you go to the temple? Everywhere you want to be happy. You want to be happy all the time. You want to be happy everywhere. Relating to whom or what do you want to be happy? Huh? Only when you relate to your partner you want to be happy? When do you want to be happy? Relating to a job you want to be happy? Huh? So you're saying you want to be happy at all times, at all places. Do you want to be happy for a particular reason or for another reason? Do you want to be happy with a reason or without a reason? Huh? If you are happy without reason, you know what they will call you. Huh? But do you want to be happy without reason or do you want a reason to be happy? Suppose you see somebody, see somebody crying. What do you ask? What happened? Suppose if somebody happy, do you go and ask, why are you happy? How come? You do ask actually. People do ask, okay? Why are you happy? Hey, why should I not be happy? Should there be a reason for me to be happy? I mean, if you had your way, you would like to be happy without reason, at all times, at all places, relating with anything or not relating with anything. If this is true, then I ask you, is this happiness a possibility? Is this a possibility? And if it is possible, what does that imply? That happiness should not be limited by time, should not be limited by space, and should not be limited by any other factor. It should not, limited means it should not depend on any factor. If it does not, say it doesn't depend on any factor, is equivalent to saying that happiness has an independent existence. It does not depend on anything means what? There is no relationship with anything else. If happiness has no relationship with anything else, then happiness should always be. If that is the happiness you want to know, if that is what you want to be, then if you say this alone I am, it's not going to fly. Understand? So if you want to discover that, what we are saying is, you want the happiness to be limitless. Not limited by place, not limited by time, not limited by any experience. So if happiness is one experience, is there any experience that is endless? Any experience that is endless? No. Therefore, if you think happiness is a particular experience, you had many happiness experiences, but are they all continuous? There are many experiences and there is a gap between them. If you want one more special moksha experience, what will it be? It will also end. So do you want that kind of a moksha? So what is moksha? What is our definition? That which doesn't come to an end also. It is not something which will come to an end. Otherwise, I see a flower, I make me happy, that's also moksha, temporary moksha. Every sleep is temporary moksha. So then, what does the word limitless mean? can I say in any way I am limitless? Is it possible? What is the I? If you see a thing other than you, if you perceive a thing other than you, means there is something, there is one more object now. You understand what I'm trying to say? Perceiving another thing means there is me and there is something other than me. What it is doesn't matter to me. If there is something other than me, I am not that. That is not me. That's called limitation. So the Shastra says the vision of the Veda for us is, if you really understand yourself, you are limitless. You are limitless. What does that mean? I am limitless and there are a lot of limited things around me. Correct? Why not? Because if there is one more thing, that limits me. Do you understand the idea? If there is a second thing, to say there are two, you have to show where you end. You cannot have two unless you define one. Unless you have a limited concept of yourself, you cannot count a second thing. Do you understand that? And do you see other things or not? And do you think they're as real as you are or not? What is your self-opinion? Don't say what Shastra says. You say what you think. What do we think of ourselves? Is there an entity beyond this? If this is what I am, Shastra says, okay, this you are, but you are more than this. See, hand is me, face is me. I can say mine, I can say me. Okay? Body is me, mind is me, but I am not the mind. This is Vedantic mathematics. You have to understand this clearly. So this is the vision, that if you really look at it, as we saw yesterday night, I said, what is I? That without which you cannot be. That which is not subject to coming and going. That which is not subject to change. Do you understand why? If something is subject to change, there must be a changeless thing which knows of the change happening. Correct? And if you are an observer of change, you are not changing. You are not changing. If you examine, if you examine carefully, anything you see, any moment in your mind, how do you know anything in the world? Through a moment of the mind. And every moment of the mind reveals what? It reveals the presence of an unchanging reality in which that change is recognized. Is that true or not? So, are you the changing or the changeless? My mood is changing. Right? I have mood swings. But mood swings you know or not? You know about them. So, stressed or not stressed, do you know about it or not? Knowledge and ignorance, do you know about it or not? Heat and cold, do you know about it or not? You tell me something you don't know about. Anything you talk about is known to you. Are you known to you? You don't know. Everything is known to you. You don't know yourself? Are you known or unknown? I ask you. Flower, Known to you or unknown to you? Huh? Known to you. Okay. I don't like to destroy the flower. Okay, I'll destroy this one now. Flower known to you or unknown to you? Known. Why is this flower white? Huh? Why does it reflect light? Known or unknown? You're saying it's known. I'm asking you, you're saying it is known. I'm asking you a little more about it. Why is this shape? Why this shape? Why not like this? Why? What do you say? No, I don't know the answer. So do you know the flower or you don't know the flower? Be serious, okay? If you know something, you should know it. Do you know the flower or not? You don't have much choice, okay? Not completely means you don't know. Swamiji would say, your ignorance is one more question away. One more question. What do you know, you tell me? I'll give you a choice. Flower is just something, okay? What do you know? Tell me anything you know. Swamiji, we don't know anything? No, you know. But what do you know? You know something. But do you know everything? About anything? What is unknown to you? Is what is known more or what is unknown more? Now the question is, are you one of the things that can be known or no? Can you ride on your own shoulders? You want to ride. Can you ride on your own shoulders or no? How can you know yourself, you tell me? I know my hand. This hand can feel this hand, I know. This is what we think. Is the hand part of you or no? Okay, let's say your hand is amputated for some reason. Is the sense of I any reduced? Is it lesser? Suppose you lost the second hand too. Is the sense of I reduced? How is the hand part of you? This is all vichara, okay? This is called vichara. You have to inquire. What is the meaning of the word I? Because for limited growth, your original thinking this much is me is okay. But if you want to understand that moksha is limitless, then you need to question what is your self-identity. And I'm saying you examine now. You say this is me. This is changing all the time. You've seen it change from the time you remember this body till now. Are you the same or are you different? You are the same person. How come you say this is me when it's changing? Are you the pot? Why not? Why are you not a pot? Because you see it. Wonderful. What about this body? Do you see it or not? How can you be the body? Swamiji, I never say I am the body. Aren't you too short? Yes, Swamiji, I am short. If you say I am short, what is short? You are the body. Body. See, if I ask you, are you the body? Nobody will say I am the body. Okay? But if I say, are you blonde? What will you say? You may say yes or no. Which means what are you? You are the color of your hair. And if I ask you, are you bald? And if you say yes, what does it mean? I am the non-existent hair on my head. Do you understand? What it means to say I am bald? I am the non-existent hair on my head. Is that what you are? Is that not how we live life? How much business is there? You look at advertisements for hair to grow. No? A lot of oils, unproven, but somebody will tell you, you put this, you will get hair. Keshavardhini. I have to keep my words in view. Growth. Hair grows. Nothing inside grows. So the point is, if this is who I am, it's not possible. Why? Because I can see that what I objectify is not me. If the body is not you, are you the mind? Are you sad sometimes? Are you ashamed sometimes? Are you excited sometimes? Yes, I am excited. Excitement came and went, right? You are still surviving, correct? Are you the excitement? So are you excited, or did you see excitement come and go? Space. That space is important. Right? Then what are you? Are you the waker? Are you the waker? Yes or no? Huh? When you are awake, you are the waker is different story. I am asking you, are you the waker or not? If you are the waker, then you should always be awake. When you sleep, what happened to the waker? What happened to the waker? Waker is not there. So, are you the waker? Are you the dreamer? Are you the sleeper? Which one of them are you? Is there a fourth state you have? Swamiji, I want to get that fourth state, Turiya state. This is some people's nice idea. Turiya means Chaturiya, fourth. Fourth means what? You tell me, are you aware of another state other than waking, dream and sleep? Is there another one? Yes? Somebody says yes? Whoever says yes, I want to know which is the fourth one. Tell me, is there any state other than waking? Predominantly, okay? You can say there is some state between waking and sleep, some half awake kind of thing. We include them this side or that side. But if these are the only three states that of experience you have, then how are you going to know yourself? You can only say whatever you know is not you. Whatever you know, whatever comes and goes is not you. Not you. Not you. What will remain? What will remain? Nothing will remain? You remain. That you don't see, you don't objectify, but you be it. You can't objectify it. Then people come with this idea. Swamiji, Satchidananda we have heard. We want to know. I will give another definition. What is you? That which is neither known nor not known. It is neither known nor not known. Whole world is what? Known. Whole world is known. Black hole is known to you? Unknown. Known. Heaven, known to you? Heard about heaven, known to you? Known, not known. Both. In anything you say known, I showed you, is known and unknown. But who is seeing this known and unknown? That is you. That is you. The one who knows of the arrival and departure of the waker is you. Who has the problems? Waker, dreamer, sleeper, or you? Who do all the problems in life belong to? All the challenges? Waker. Waker has challenges. Let Waker have challenges. Are you the Waker? If you say, I am the Waker, then you have challenges. If you can see, Waker is me, but I am not the Waker, then you can live with the Waker's problems. But it should be very clear. What's my identity? Which means you must know your identity separate from whatever is known to you or knowable to you. Viditat anyat, aviditat anyat. Another way of defining is what? It is nasat, natat, asat uchyate. It is neither something which is existent in time nor something which is not existent in time. Not something which comes and goes. In terms of existence, we can say. Essentially, we are trying to show, we means what? The Shastra. See, what can be known to you by your 5 means of knowledge, you can know. What are the 5 means of knowledge we have? There is perception, right? Perception includes seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touch, right? Even though you don't see, you can infer. Like you see smoke and you infer there is fire. You hear a conch sound and you infer there is somebody blowing the conch. Need not be fire and smoke all the time, okay? We should have more examples. Otherwise, you don't understand what is inference. Right? You have a fever, so a doctor infers there must be some infection or virus or whatever. Inference. The inference can be one-step inference or multi-step inference. Right? Then we have another means of knowledge which is called simile, upama. So you don't know exactly, but you want to know, what's chrysanthemum. You don't know, but I can say it's something like this flower, and you will know. Oh, okay, now I understand. Right? You can compare, and there is one more which is called anupalabdhi. What is that? Non-availability. What you perceive, but do you perceive a plate here? No. How do you not perceive a plate, not with your eyes? That's called anupalabdhi. These are the means of knowledge we have in our hand. Now the question is, how do you know about if there is something which cannot be objectified with these means of knowing, how will you ever know it? How will you ever know it? That what cannot be known through any of these means of knowledge should be unknowable. But we have another means of knowledge, which is called Shabda or Shastra. Shabda Pramanam. It's a means of knowing. The attitude to the Veda is not a book. It is a means of knowledge. And what does the means of knowledge do? It makes you know something. How do you know this is green? How do you know this is green? Because you see it. Now close your eyes and tell me what is the color of what I am holding. Open your eyes. What do you see? I am holding something else. How will you tell color? How will you talk of color? Except through your eyes. You have no way of talking about it. Now, the vision of the Shastra is what? There is only one reality. There is only one limitless whole. I have told you what is limitless. One limitless whole. What is limitless? Which excludes nothing. Which excludes Nothing. Why do I use the word nothing? See, we have statement like everything is the whole. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. Sarvam means everything. Idam, all this. What is this? Whatever you objectify. All this is Brahman. What is Brahman? The word Brahman comes from a root Brihi Vriddhau. Same dhatu as growth. Grow, to grow. What is Brahman? Grown, big. Brahman is big. Meaning of Brahman literally is big. Okay. Now I say, it's big. It's big. Where will you look? Look at it. It is so big. Where will you look? Do you understand? I am telling you something. It is big. Not Brahman, no, okay? It is big. Where will you look? Now I say, it's a big ant. Big ant. Where will you look? Big mountain. Where will you look? You look differently. Word is same. Big man. Big elephant. Same or different? Big river. Big continent. Big planet. Big star. Sun is a tiny star. Big star. What is the meaning of the word big? Big is an adjective. So how do you understand the adjective? Very interesting. Normally you understand the noun based on an adjective. But here, the adjective big you only understand when you know what noun it's referring to. Now I say, forget the adjective big. I want you to know the noun big. The noun big. So what is it? The substantive is big. What is it limited by? If I say big pot, you know how to limit the bigness. If I say a big stable, you know how to limit the bigness. Big human being, you know how to limit the bigness. Now I just say big. How do you limit it? With what will you limit the bigness? I'm not giving you a big word as an adjective. I'm saying big is the noun. What is big now? It is not something which has a limitation, which means it is limitlessly big. It is limitlessly big. What does limitlessly big mean? There is no time which is away from it. There is no space which is away from it. There is no object away from it. There is no thought away from it. There is nothing away from it. What do you mean by not away from it? It doesn't get displaced by another object. See, now, if I say the flower and the pot have to be at the same place P at the same time T, it will have to be like this. Even this is not exact, but with some roughness you can say that's together. So when two things on the road, you have two cars, if they try to be at the same place P at the same time T, what happens? You call that an accident. Nothing else happened really. Both cars decided to be at the same time at the same place. All right? So this is if I say, either on the table there has to be either on a point P, a pot can be there or a flower can be there. This means the place P is occupied by one thing or the other. If one thing occupies, the other gets displaced. The other gets displaced, right? Now, you see this pot. Okay? Are you displaced? I hope you are understanding the question, okay? Are you displaced? No. Now the pot goes. Pot is there. I put a leaf on it. What happened to the pot? The pot is no longer seen by you. Is it displaced or not? Okay. Now, a flower. How many things can you see at one time? How many things do you perceive at one time? One snapshot. You can see the whole table. You can see the entire background. You can see just my finger. You can see my fingertip. What you look at is one thing, but I'm saying, how many things do you see at one time? You see one. Okay, right now what do you see? Do you see anything else? No. Everything else is gone. What did hand do? Displaced everything else. What did flower do? Displaced everything else. Are you getting displaced? When you see the flower, are you there? Okay. When you don't see the flower, are you there? Yes. When you're sleeping, are you there? When you're waking, are you there? When you're dreaming, are you there? Did any of them displace you? No. Okay. So, what is undisplaceable? Which means you and the flower are not like flower A and flower B. The rose displaces the white flower displaces the rose. Where are you? Where are you? Are you displaced? No. You are sad. Are you there or not? You are very much there. If you are not there, you won't have the problem of sadness. Correct? Happiness, you are not there really. Not the wanting you. But when you are sad, you are very sure you are there, aren't you? So now, does sadness displace you? Does ignorance displace you? Suppose you don't know something. Does ignorance displace you? Does knowledge displace you? Talk of anything when you are not there. Talk of something when you are not there. When your mind is also not there. Are you there or not? How do you know? Everything becomes evident to you. Everything becomes evident to you through a means of knowing. The color of the flower becomes evident to you by your eyes. Smell of the flower becomes evident to you by the sense of smell. Touch of the flower becomes evident to you by the sense of touch. All these senses become evident to you because there is a mind behind it or not. Right? How does the mind become evident to you? How does the mind become evident to you? Do you do something to make it evident? Do you have a choice about knowing what's happening in your mind? Do you have a choice? Keep your eyes open. Don't look at me. Don't look at the flower. Look at me. Look at my nose. Don't look at the flower. Do you have a choice? Why? Why don't you have a choice? Why don't you have a choice? It's not available for choice. Even if you try, will you ever be without knowing, when you're awake, what's happening in your mind? What you call the world is what you see in your mind, in a mind which is prejudiced and biased. Right? But are you part of the prejudice, or are you the one looking at the mind? This you which is present. Now, time. Past, were you there? In the past, were you there? Yes. Swamiji, what about before I was born? Question can come. We will deal with that separately. Right now, what is time to you? Past, present, future. Is there anything more to time? Now, past, are you there? Future, will you be there? See, future also is in the present, okay? Past is also in the present. Past with reference to the present moment. What is present? What is present? This moment. What is the length of the moment? What is the length of the moment? 1 day? 1 year? 1 minute? 1 second? Microsecond? Nanosecond? We are all nanotechnology now. Nanosecond? What is 1 moment? If I say, what is present? Who decides? The present times are not good. What is present times? The year? The century? The millennium? Who decides what is present? So, does time depend on you or you depend on time? Do you know of time? Would there be any talk if you are not there? For whom is the whole world? You say there is a world. For whom is the world? For a conscious being. Is there a world other than the conscious being? That conscious being, is that something you will objectify? Or is that something which is evident to you without your effort? This morning in the meditation, do you see the fact that without doing anything you are? What did you do to be? What do you do to just be? What effort did you need? What will did you need? Were you happy or unhappy? Were you comfortable or uncomfortable? If you were comfortable, where did it come from? If comfort has a source, what is the source of comfort? This is all to give you just an insight. This is not the whole truth yet, but gives you an insight into what you may be. What we ignore normally. We take this, what comes into our mind as ourselves. But is there something more to it? At least the doubt should come, Perhaps this much alone is not me. Perhaps there is something more. Right? So, the Shastra, Veda, points out to me. Because it is not something, are you known to yourself or unknown to yourself? Unknown, you can't talk about. If it is known, did it become known? Everything becomes known to you. Everything becomes evident to you. How do you become evident? You don't become evident. You are of the nature of evidence. This is what we call as self-evident. The word we use is self-evident. So, self-evident. What about existence? We will learn. Self-evident is self-existent. This should not just be, I am self-evident. That doesn't work. I have to recognize this as the truth of myself. This is where the crux of the matter lies. See, there are two things. When you achieve something, there is ends to be achieved and there are means to achieve them. The ends are either, the ends to be achieved, they are either achieved by effort. Is there any other way to achieve ends? If there is an end, you want to achieve. How do you achieve it? By doing something typically. But if there is an end which is already achieved, so an example, Shastra gives an example. There is a person who is begging for alms, begging for some morsels of food. But he is sleeping on a treasure. He is sleeping on a treasure. So what makes the fellow beg? What makes him think he is very poor, he doesn't have anything? Not knowing that he is sleeping on a treasure makes him do that. Right? What makes me look around for crumbs of happiness everywhere? Because I believe the happiness lies somewhere out there in some experience, in some event, in some object. But what is the reality? If the reality happens to be that the happiness or what I am seeking does not exist outside, but it is me, then what do I need? How do I achieve that? Not by doing something, but by knowing. Therefore, we say that dharma, artha, kama, these three pursuits you have to achieve by doing. There is no other way. But when it comes to recognizing the freedom which is already a fact, it can only be recognized through knowing. Otherwise, there is no point in coming and sitting and studying. This Arshavidya, the whole Veda has to teach you something which you cannot know by yourself, by your means of perception and inference. Whole Veda is a means of knowledge. And what it teaches you should not be knowable by yourself by means of perception and inference. There is heaven or not? You don't know. Veda says there is heaven. Now, even though there is heaven, you are not heaven. To achieve it, you have to do something. You have to do something. You have to earn some mileage. Like frequent flyer miles, you have to earn punyam. Only then you will go to another loka, another place, another sphere of experience. Right? It tells you that if you hurt somebody, you will end up with a situation where you will hurt one time. How do you know? It tells you that you have been here for a long time. This is not the first life. You have had many lives. How do you know? These are not things which you can know. But the Shastra is revealing them. If I show you the color, can you disprove the color of this with any other way? So if this rose is red, I say no, the rose is black. Can I prove the rose is black to you? How will I prove the rose is black to you? What means of knowledge do you have to know the color? Only eyes. Can you argue about color with any other means of knowledge? No. If Veda tells you about heaven, can you dismiss heaven? It's a belief. It's a non-verifiable belief. A non-verifiable belief, how will you dismiss? You asked me to prove there is heaven, I ask you to disprove there is no heaven. Okay? So there are several things that the Veda reveals which are not available for you to see here and now. But the Veda has one thing which it reveals. It says the limitless whole is you. And that you cannot dismiss because we are talking about you. And that you has to be recognized, understood. Understood by removing your notions about who you are. So removal of wrong notions about yourself becomes an exercise. And what points out your truth is the Veda. And that part of the Veda is called Vedanta. And that limitless whole is you is what we call the culmination of growth. Because when I say limitless, as I told you, you cannot say there is me and there is something else. You cannot say there is me and there is time. You cannot say there is me and there is space. The time also has no reality apart from me. Space has no reality apart from me. No objects I see have a reality apart from me. And we have no shyness in accepting the perception of manyness. Many are perceived. Subject-object perception we have no problem accepting. That's why the Veda says everything you see, idam sarvam Brahma. Everything you perceive is the whole. So you have to understand that we are not denying. It's not like we are not saying the world is false, the world doesn't exist, the world is a delusion. We are not saying that. The world is there. This body is there. Your thoughts are there. Everything has a certain degree of reality. But there is something more real than that. And when you discover something more real than this objective reality, say suppose when you see the dream, what does it fold into? It folds into your objective reality. What you call objective reality folds into another level of reality, and that is something which we need to know, because we know only two things, real, unreal. We need to know that what we call real is not absolutely real because it's subject to coming and going. There is something which doesn't come and go, which is ever present, which is the truth of everything that comes and goes. And that reality is something to be recognized, to be understood. And the ultimate growth, inner growth, what we call, is the growth wherein you recognize that that reality cannot be away from me. Why? Because there's only one reality and you exist, you are, then you cannot be other than that one reality. Because there's only one. Everything else comes and goes. Your mind comes and goes. Sleep is a great experience. Dream is a great experience to see the fact that everything comes and goes. Waker comes and goes means waker and waking world come and go. You dismiss the waker and waking world in one go. You dismiss the dreamer and dream world in one go. So what remains is the one you cannot dismiss. You cannot dismiss the experience of waking, dream and sleep. You cannot dismiss yourself as non-existent. But you cannot say, no longer say that I am just the waker. You cannot say I am just a person who is sad, who is happy, who is educated, who is uneducated. All these are true. But that is not your whole truth. What is your whole truth? Is you happen to be the whole. And that is what is the culmination of growth. And this whole thing has to be understood. Then what about all this? If there is only one reality, what about all this that I see? How do you explain this? Why is it there? Typical question, if this is what is the reality, why is it all there? So we say there must be a reason why everything is there. Nothing in the world happens without a reason. But the reason, the cause and the effect both have to fold into one reality. So you have to be able to appreciate the cause, appreciate the effect, and at the same time appreciate one reality which pervades and transcends the cause and the effect. That is what the goal, we say, of life is, because only then you can live happily. Despite having a body which is blemished, despite having a mind which is limited, despite senses which are limited, despite everything, you are comfortable because you understand all these are there, but none of them touch me and none of them have a being apart from me. That understanding is what totally frees us from a life of wanting to become different from what we are. Allows us to just be what we are without the need to change anything. This is the culmination. And for this culmination, a relative growth is unavoidable. Without that, you cannot gain this. And what constitutes this world, why this world of objects, this is all explained through, we bring in Ishvara as Jagat Karanam. And unless you understand what is Ishvara, there is no way of gaining a relative acceptance, a relative growth. So we will come back and we'll delve on other things as we go. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.